Hi, I'm Angelia. Welcome back to Read and Reread. Well, I've been trying to get to this video all day, and I'm telling you, there has been a series of unfortunate events unfolding here at the Lewis household. And, you know, we have moved. We've been trying to get set up and unpacked, and there's just so many things going on. There are things being delivered. There are things being repaired. There are plumbers digging tunnels. There is a college daughter with apartment problems. And then right in the middle of all of it, my glasses decided to just fall apart. So I've never had this happen before, but literally they broke in half and fell right off my head. Right when I was trying to put away 900,000 million CDs that we hardly ever play anymore, but which I must have in alphabetical order. So I have ordered a new pair, and I am doing the ultimate nerd thing. Steven tried to MacGyver them for me and glue them together, but it just wouldn't hold. So I'm just kind of sticking them there when I need to read or really see something. So if they won't stay on, I'll set them aside because I don't really need them to do this. I guess I need them to edit. But anyway, as you know, when you move, there's occasion for finding things that you can do without. So I did unhaul some books before I moved, and I did a video about that, and I put them in a little free library where I was living previously. But on the other side, as I am putting everything back into the bookcases, I have found some more things that I could let go. And so I'm going to do a little unhaul video today and show you what I am going to part with. And there's another whole little stack of children's books, but I'm not going to put them in the video. I'm having to consolidate some of my daughter's books because changing the formation of rooms. So one of the bedrooms is now the library in this house, and there's not really an official room for her. When she comes, she will kind of double this up as a guest room. But anyway, had to rearrange some stuff, consolidate, make room. Something had to go. So here's what it is. These drive me crazy. All right, so, and if I look burned out, well, I just described the kind of day this is. So that's how it goes. All right, first of all, this book is not mine, but I'm unhauling it. This is Steven's book, How to Write One Song. And Steven does write. He plays guitar. You might even hear it in the background because he's practicing right now. But he writes some music. He plays. He writes. He does a lot of things. He paints, he draws, he's writing a little bit of fiction, he writes music, he plays guitar. So his studio is next door now. And anyway, he said he wasn't going to use this book. It turned out not to be very interesting. So How to Write One Song is going away. The next one is a book that a friend of mine gave me called The Language of Flowers by Vanessa Diffenbaugh. And a friend of mine gave this to me. She passed it on when I was recovering from a surgery, and she gave me a few books that she was finished with. And so now I'm finished too, and I'm going to send them on their way so somebody else can enjoy them. So this is just a nice paperback fiction book that I will not reread, so I want to let somebody else enjoy it now. Then we have a book that I loved at the beginning when it came out, Eleanor and Park by Rowell. I'm not going to reread it. When my daughter was the age for it, I gave it to her and she wasn't really into it. It just wasn't her kind of thing. She likes more action. She likes fantasies and thrillers most of the time. It's got to have more going on. And so she didn't really like this, quiet love story. And I was kind of dismayed more recently to read some of the problematic or potentially problematic things in this book regarding racial stereotypes that I guess they didn't jump out at me when I first read it, but reading about them now, I think I can kind of see it, and I would have to reread it to look at it more closely, and I don't want to reread it, so for these reasons, it's out. Then I talked about these two books by Ann Cleeves, and there's nothing wrong with these. I don't need to keep them. I read them. They were fine. I wouldn't read them again. I don't think Stephen's going to want to read them. They're both mysteries. It's the beginning of a new series, and I thought if I really loved them or latched onto them, I might like to have the set. But they're not that good. They're fine. And if I was at the library and I had nothing to read, and then book 3 was sitting there, I might pick it up and read it because it would, be past a weekend or something. But they were just okay, and so I don't feel any need to hang on to them for the long term. And space is at a premium here. I realized after I moved in, I could possibly squeeze in one more skinny bookcase, but it would really crowd it up. So when I finish getting the rest of the debris out of here, get the things up on the walls and stuff, I will do a video that's more of a tour, but today is not that day. Then the next one is Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller, and I did like this book, and I think it's super pretty. It got to stay here longer than it really needed to, just because it's pretty. But in my library, you got to do more than just be a pretty cover if you want to keep your spot. And I won't reread this. It was pretty good, and it was weird and creepy, and I would not discourage anybody else from reading it, but I don't feel like I need to keep it. It's not, and I think I paid $1 for it at a library book sale, so I feel like I really got my money's worth out of it. I enjoyed the read, and I enjoyed looking at this pretty cover, but I can't keep anything just to look at. I gotta have more. And then finally, I'm going to let go this Jo Nesbo book, The Kingdom, and I featured this in my video about unhinged thrillers, and it is that it's very dark, it's very twisted, it's warped, it's bloody, it's kind of over the top. So, but once you've read it, you wouldn't read it again because all the surprises are gone. And Stephen and I have both read it, and it's big, it's taken up a lot of space, and it's not really like my favorite book that there are books that I will confess I probably will never reread, but they're also going to stay for various reasons, the sentimental reasons, or they signify some kind of hallmark in my life, or they've got grandfathered in because they've been here so long that I just let them keep staying. But so I think I usually unhaul things that are actually more recent, like they just don't have the staying power. I did, before I started on BookTube, I did do a really big unhaul, and tons of books from like the 80s and 90s went when we were moving from our really large house and we knew we were going to downsize. And so that would have been a major unhaul. I was like boxes and boxes of books, and since then I've been kind of rebuilding and trying to acquire certain classics that I don't have, copies of books that I loved but I had read from the library and I want a copy because I want to reread it, and new books that I'm intrigued with that sometimes I keep and sometimes I don't. So just the manner in which I am choosing and purchasing books is different than in the past, and I'm also looking for diversity and just different kinds of things to balance out my shelves. So anyway, I'm trying to rotate things more often than I used to, not just accumulate, but really have a more well-curated set of books on my shelves. So anyway, those were the ones that did not make it through when I unpacked the boxes that are going to take a hike, and I will be giving those away or donating them. I need to look around since we just moved here and see if where's a good place. There might be a little free library near here that I can pop them into. So far, I have put books in those several times, but I have never found one that I wanted to keep. So hope springs eternal. So I'm going to don my broken apparel here and wish you a good day. I'll be back for Friday reads. I hope that you are having a great week and that your glasses remain affixed. See you later. Bye.